it's me, Anne-Marie, and welcome to our city homestead. It's July, and let me show you around the garden.
We're starting in the backyard. The parsley's doing great. The basil isn't doing so good, but the dill is doing nice, and it is starting to develop the heads. In the last storm we had, it knocked all of our peas down, so we're going to have to stand those up again. And I've got more dill here heading out, so that's fantastic. The spinach has all gone to seed. It did not grow very well, but I'm still going to use what I can. And I'll be letting the spinach go to seed. It'll drop its seeds, and it'll just come back each spring. Some of the lettuce is growing great, as you can see. It's got really nice heads of lettuce there. And other parts of the lettuce just didn't grow, and I've already replanted, so we'll just leave that. Here's the peas. They're starting to flower. They're doing good. In this section, nothing really seems to be growing. We've got a few beans, sunflowers that the birds dropped. Here we had some garlic and a bunch of onions I planted by seed, but nothing's come up. Here's all the potatoes. They are flowering, and they'll be ready to eat in the next couple of weeks, which is fantastic. I'm looking forward to fresh garden potatoes. And they're doing really well in the back here. They get part sun and part shade. More sunflowers that the birds dropped. They dropped a lot of seeds over the winter, and they're growing, so that's perfectly fine. Here are the pumpkins and the cherry tree. And here's the gooseberry. It's got a bunch of little tiny gooseberries on them. They start out green, and then they turn into a kind of like an orangey red color when they're ripe. Here's some more pumpkins. We've got jack-o'-lantern and sugar pie pumpkins. And the sugar pie pumpkins are the best to bake with, although jack-o'-lanterns taste good in pumpkin pie too. We've got some pumpkin here growing. They're a little bit further behind this year compared to last year, but they're starting to grow, so that's okay. Here we've got a bit of a mess. There is beans in here. We've got green beans, yellow beans, and corn. And they're flowering, so we'll get beans soon too. Yay! And of course, a whole bunch of sunflowers. I have no idea that the birds even dropped them there. There was nothing, and then just all of a sudden, we've got sunflowers. Here's the beans, and we also have here spaghetti squash. And some more sunflowers. And the spaghetti squash is starting to blossom, which is fantastic. Here are the cucumbers. They are in the back corner of our backyard, and it gets super hot back here. Really, really hot. But the cucumbers love it. They're a little bit wilty, but there's supposed to be a thunderstorm coming, so I'm not going to water them just yet. Cucumbers are flowering, and there's cucumbers on them. Here is the Saskatoon shrub. We've had this here about 3 years, and it just finally produced some berries. Here's all the mint. With the heat, it all of a sudden just got really, really big. Here is the jostaberry. We planted that last year, so I'm glad to see it growing well. These are the honeyberries. We've got 2 different kinds of honeyberries here. The moles really wrecked them over the winter, but I'm glad to see that the shrubs came back and we picked berries. We've got asparagus here. We just planted asparagus this spring, so it'll take up to 3 years to be able to harvest asparagus. There is the red currant. It's grew so much this year. Here is all of our garlic. We've got about 5 different kinds. And now that the scapes have grown a lot more, we are going to trim that back, so that way the plant can focus on producing a larger garlic bulb. We are going to let a few of them flower and collect the tiny little bulbs. That takes longer to grow, but we're going to give it a try. Here are the carrots and parsnips. We've got a few different carrots here and parsnips. And in this jungle, the mosquitoes have been crazy, so we haven't picked all the weeds yet, are our beets. Here are the patty pans or sunburst squash. They're growing really well. A little bit of a late start this spring. We've had so much rain earlier in the springtime. But you can see all the flowers there, so we will get a bunch of patty pans or sunburst squash. Like I said, it was a slow start to the growing season, but now with all the heat, they are doing really well. We've got canola in our dirt somehow. All right, off to the front yard. Here is our apple tree. It's doing really well. This is the Viking choke cherry, and the berries are quite tart. This is our herb bed. So we've got chives, rosemary, basil, some more chives, thyme, sage, oregano, and some more chives. I let the chives go to seed and they come back every year. Here are our peppers. We have a few different kinds here. We've got jalapeno, cayenne, chili peppers, a bunch of different kinds. They're doing not too bad. Usually the plants are a lot more full. I'm not sure if it's just our crazy weather this year, but we've got some peppers here. Then we've got some garlic chives that we planted by seed. That comes up every year. Some more peppers. Another kind of peppers. And rhubarb. This is a pink lemonade blueberry. We just planted that this spring, so there are no berries yet. Here's our plum tree. As you can see, there's different colors of plums because this tree's been grafted, and we have 3 different kinds of plums here. Blueberries. Here are our haskap or honeyberries. We've had these shrubs now for about 6 years. Here's some tomatoes. We bought this plant here half dead, but my daughter kind of brought it back to life, so we got lots of tomatoes. Here are our raspberries. They send up new canes every spring and throughout the summer. We started out with only 2 plants there, and now we have a lot. Here is our strawberry bed. We've already had 2 pickings, which is great. Not enough for jam or anything, but just enough for us to enjoy. Here's a rhubarb bed. We've already picked that rhubarb. I've picked that rhubarb, and we picked what we could off of this rhubarb. This one just didn't want to pick, so I'm going to leave it for a bit. Here are our green onions, and we scatter it with ashes to prevent worms. And we've got some cayenne pepper, Greek basil, some more cayenne pepper, which we dry and then grind into our own cayenne pepper. And here we have a tomato plant. It produces yellow grape tomatoes. They're so good. And we've got a small plant. The plant's not growing a lot, but it is producing some good-sized tomatoes. This is our marjoram and some more parsley. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you again soon. Bye, everyone.